love movies and movie discussions, you've come to the right place. Who am I, you ask? I am the Wiz, and I'm here today to review the 2011 animated Christmas film, Arthur Christmas, featuring the voice talent of James McAvoy, Bill Nighy, Hugh Laurie, and Jim Broadbent, directed by Sarah Smith. This is an Aardman production. And if you know what Aardman is the people that actually does the claymation stuff, such as Wallace and Gromit, Shaun the Sheep, I think flushed away as CGI, and Chicken Run. They have usually very charming, pretty funny and witty movies. I personally love the Wallace and Gromit movies, and I really like the first Chicken Run. I have not seen the second one yet, so I can't really give you my take on that one. So when I watched this film, and Aardman came up as the people that actually made this, I was like, oh, okay, this is good. I'm now excited, because I really was like, we'll see how this is, but now I was excited. I gotta say that I'm actually pretty disappointed by this movie. Basically, in this film, Santa is part of a high-tech operation led by his son Steve, and Arthur, who is the main character of the film, who is voiced by James McAvoy, he's part of that operation in a very small way, too. When it's been found out that a toy has not gotten to a child, Arthur and his grandpa, Grand Santa, decide to take that toy to that child behind the back of Santa and Steve, and they go on this crazy adventure. For an Aardman production, this was pretty disappointing. Before I get into what I don't like, the first thing I want to say is that the concept of Santa using high-tech stuff is pretty amusing, but I also think it's also creatively shallow. There was a lot you could have done with this, but it just seems like they did the minimum amount. Basically treat it like a CIA operation of sorts, and there's a bit of amusement with that, but overall, it's just kind of like, yeah, you kind of went the way you would probably think in this. I gotta say, for an Aardman film, I'm also kind of disappointed by the animation. I don't think it's particularly bad, but I think it's fairly mediocre. I don't think the characters are all that interesting looking or all that distinctive or charming. I think they're okay at best. They definitely reminded me of computer animated films from the 2000s, where the characters look a little plasticky. It's okay, but when I think of Aardman, I'm thinking of those really distinctive looking claymation type of animation and characters. And of course, this is not claymation, so I can't really consider that. But when I do think of Aardman, I think there is a higher quality standard of animation, and I don't think that's there in this movie. It's fine, but it's not exactly great. Speaking of the characters, one of my biggest problems with the film is the characters. I think the characters, especially Arthur, range from boring to annoying. And I think Arthur is really annoying in this film. He comes off as clumsy and goofy, which, you know, those types of characters can work at times. But honestly, I just found him much more annoying than anything else in this film. I think the drama mostly is between Steve, Santa, and Arthur. And honestly, like, none of the characters I really could get behind. I think the actual Santa character, I think his name is Malcolm through the film, is kind of boring. And Steve in itself is interesting-ish. But again, there's not much depth to it, and there's nothing really to the character other than he's in charge and he makes things work. And that's about it. Like, there's really nothing of an emotional resonance with any of these characters. I know some of you are going to be saying it's a kid's movie. You're not supposed to expect that. But Klaus is a kid's movie, and that was very emotionally resonant. I would say a lot of the Disney Renaissance films are very emotionally resonant and do a very good job of showcasing characters. So I don't think that's really an excuse. And I think the biggest problem I have with this film is it lacks the charm and humor of other Aardman productions. Honestly, I found myself bored throughout most of it, and I also think the attempts in comedy just didn't land with me. There's a whole quote-unquote humorous subplot about how a bunch of places are starting to notice the sleigh, and they think they're a UFO and everything, and really, it just wasn't that funny. It was cute, I guess, but it's not really in the humor and charm that I'm expecting from an Aardman production. Honestly, like I said in the beginning, I found myself actually rather disappointed by this film, which leads me to my one question, which is, do Christmas films get a pass when it comes to quality? I think I've asked this question a couple of years ago when I reviewed A Christmas Story, because I absolutely hated that film. I thought it was horrible. And on top of that, I didn't think Christmas Vacation was all that good either. Honestly, I'm starting to think that there are just some Christmas movies that just get this pass because, oh, it's Christmas. You're expecting it to be corny. You're expecting it to be a little cheesy. You're not really expecting it to be a very thoughtful or very very well thought out film. But all you need is like some Christmas carols and Christmas lights and the Santa and all that stuff, and you got yourself a Christmas movie. You know, that's good. I seriously think after looking at the reviews for this has a 92% in Rotten Tomatoes. I think it has a 7.1 on IMDb. It's got a 3.5 in Letterboxd. I don't know what the Metacritic score is either, but I'm going to guess it's rather high. I look at that and go, I really think a lot of people just give a pass in quality to a lot of Christmas movies, because there are some that are beloved that I look at and go, how? How is that? This might be also the reason why everyone has this thing of, oh, Die Hard's a Christmas. I know, I'm going back to the Die Hard as a Christmas movie thing. It's annoying, I know, but I still don't understand how people can be like, it's set in Christmas, ergo Christmas movie. No, it's not. Shut up. I'm starting to think I see more and more Christmas movies, especially ones that they want to bring in a wider audience. I think a lot of people just give a pass to the quality of these films, and I think Arthur Christmas is a great example of that. So overall, if you haven't guessed, I am not recommending Arthur Christmas. I honestly thought this was a boring movie, and on top of that, it just lacks the charm and humor of those Aardman films. And even if you take out the fact that this is an Aardman film, it's really not that funny. I find the characters more either boring or annoying, and the animation's okay, I guess. That's really, I think, the most I can give this film, honestly. And the concept of Santa being like a multi-conglomerate corporation of sorts is okay. It's fine, I guess. But overall, I am not going to recommend Arthur Christmas. Let's hope the next ones are better, I guess. If you're interested, you can rent it for like $4 on any of your streaming platforms. I think it's on Hulu if you have live TV. So if you have that, check that out if you are interested. Now, if you want my full review on this movie, you can go to my website at IamTheWiz.com. You'll have my full written review right on the site, along with a link to the video that has this review that you've just listened to. All right, so for Thursday, me and Zero are going to be reviewing Edward Scissorhands. Saturday, I'll be reviewing Rare Exports, A Christmas Tale. And on Tuesday, I'm going to be reviewing a movie that I have been interested in for a while, but I didn't realize this was a Christmas movie. If I did, I probably would have watched it last year, but since I didn't, I am going to try it now this year, and that is Tangerine, directed by Sean Baker. I actually penciled this in for something for Pride Month this coming year, but since it's a Christmas movie apparently, or it's set in Christmas I should say, I thought, why not give it a shot now? On Thursday, me and Zero are going to be reviewing Edward Scissorhands. Saturday, I'll be reviewing Rare Exports, A Christmas Tale. And Tuesday, Tangerine. I am the Wiz, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.